Imagine making millions of dollars by simply playing Counter-Strike.
That is literally impossible.
Are you sure about that?
That's just one of few who turned their love for Counter-Strike into millions of dollars, the rarest skin collections, making real businesses out of that, or ending up in jail. But to find out how they did this, we need to dive into their full stories one by one, beginning with OniPixel. Mark was your average 17-year-old kid playing Counter-Strike and having fun. Back then as iRemix, Mark quickly decided to rename himself to OniPixel, but he got bored of playing the game, so he made the decision to go into the skin market. His main goal with this was not to get rich, but to make a small addition towards his monthly income, not knowing he was going big. Except the odds of this happening was close to zero. We're talking 2016 where a Dragon Lore was around $300. To give you a sense of this is what the game looked like in 2016. At the time, everyone already thought that skin prices had reached their all-time high. Maybe this dream was already dead. But Mark didn't believe that, and wasn't afraid to try it out anyway. Even though little Mark had hardly any money, he did his best. Staying up all night, just going on Reddit, researching how prices were behaving, why they were rising, and learning all about patterns, cases, and trade-ups. Which led him to make his first purchase, a gut knife, Blue Steel, for $85, only to sell it a few hours later for a profit of $60.
Traded for gut knife, Blue Steel, factory.
For a gut knife? Ugly.
Even if that wasn't much, it was amazing for OniPixel, because the thing is, at the time, there wasn't a 7-day trade lock, so you could sell a skin for a higher price immediately after buying them, a so-called flip. So instead of relaxing, OniPixel grinded for days and nights, doing nothing else but trading skins for other skins.
Traded for Butterfly Knife Case Hardened. Traded for Doppler Phase 4.
And a few months later, selling a Deagle for $14,000 instead of another skin. He thought he made it out of the trenches, but even with this money, Mark could lose it all if he didn't spend it wisely. Gaining more experience and making more money with which he would buy more expensive skins, selling them for even more profit, as well as showing them off on Steam screenshots, which clearly worked in attracting even more buyers.
Have a trade offer for you.
No way you're trusting this random person.
Okay, sent you the skins, where's my money? Hello? Hello?
OniPixel was at zero again, losing all his progress and hard-earned money he had made over the past months, making him quit the game. But we wouldn't be talking about him today if he didn't make one of the most important decisions of his life. Coming back a year later, he wanted to make the money back.
First day after going back into skins, would call it a decent day.
Mark worked really hard, and with his already gathered knowledge, it didn't take him long until he reached a new all-time high, with each flip being more profitable than the last. However, he stopped doing that. In hindsight, this may seem like a dumb move, but you'll see why it's genius. He focused not on making quick flips, but instead buying rare collector skins that will never come back to the game, especially the Katowice stickers for around $2,000. Even if they were in the tens of thousands, Mark could afford it. This led to his inventory now reaching a value of $100,000, and with that, he felt ready to share his knowledge. Now streaming on Twitch helping other people out, and most importantly, showing his incredible skins. And just when he thought he couldn't get richer, the skin market in 2021 rose with a single Dragon Lore being worth over $15,000.
Yeah! Oh my god!
Bought what? Dignitas Holo when it was worth 2,000?
Especially his Katowice stickers now being at $80,000 instead of $2,000, making him even wealthier. But this wasn't even OniPixel's main source of income. As time went by, OniPixel managed to almost double his viewership every single month. Despite the success, Mark remained humble, not accepting any contracts and staying true to himself. But even with an inventory worth over $1.5 million, a contract worth $10 million, and a fat pay from Twitch, there are far more impressive millionaires in our community. But before we can go into that, subscribe, since this video took a lot of research, because unlike OniPixel, Monarch hid in the shadows, meanwhile building his million-dollar empire. Coming from RuneScape, he already knew how much in-game items could be worth, and he would use this to his advantage. Since he wanted to spice up Counter-Strike, Monarch saw the potential and got himself a loan of $11,000. But not to buy skins. He spent months working on a project that could either fail like his old ones, or change his life forever. However, things would turn out very differently, changing Counter-Strike forever. So how did this all begin? With his $11,000 loan, Monarch decided to open CSGO Empire, a casino. Remembering 2015, everyone was sponsored by already existing ones, including Anomaly, who would soon make a decision changing everything later on. So Monarch had to do something differently to stick out. There's something I didn't tell you. Monarch tried that already 2 times in RuneScape and failed. So he was even more shocked how fast his site blew up, bringing in approximately $750,000 each month. Now being the one who sponsored everyone, until he fired everyone? But he wasn't done yet. Shortly after, he and his team started exposing a rival site called CSGO Wild. They did this because the site used rigged funds, and with the profits, they founded the now famous CSGO FaZe Clan.
A sports organisation called FaZe was looking to expand its horizons. Initially, buying a competitor CSGO team, but the problem is, they didn't have the money.
Yes, this clan was founded with Gamba money. In response to this, Valve decided to take responsibility and started sending out cease and desist letters to all existing websites at the time, threatening to sue them if they didn't go offline. All that reached a peak in 2018, and Valve banned all inventories that were connected to such a site. Now Monarch lives somewhere in the woods, streaming with a DJ in the background. This event would not just only crash Monarch's career. While OniPixel used his fame, and Monarch his coding skills, McSkillet would combine both. And with his newfound love for Counter-Strike, he would make a decision that would change his life forever. On Valentine's Day, the 14th of February 2014, the 15-year-old Trevor from San Diego, California would go on YouTube and create a channel under the name OG Skillet, later simplifying it to McSkillet. But he didn't go far, since he had no idea what to upload and gave up. Instead, focusing on the CSGO skin market flipping items, buying his first knife and doing trade-ups hoping to get low floats. However, that would change on the 22nd of April in 2015, when he published his first video titled CSGO Top 10 Most Expensive Skins and Rare Weapons 2015. Unlike most YouTubers at that time, McSkillet instantly went viral, putting him to the most viewed CS YouTubers, and that was just his first video. He was lucky, and with that, met like-minded people.
We all want to make a successful casino! Let's put your fame and our skills together and make this happen.
Now with some extra hands, he was able to create 3 pretty decent sites. The first one being Skin Trade, turning unprofitable within the first few months, with the second one having a similar fate. However, all this work didn't completely go to waste. As for the third one...
Alright, what's going on guys, McSkillet here with another video, but today I thought I would switch it up and just do a real life video because I've been seeing plenty of
Oh, that was fast. Players loved McSkillet and CSGO Magic. Players spent thousands and money kept flowing. Following the successful release, McSkillet continued to improve his site and YouTube videos, with that getting more views and even more people onto his site. Being at the #1 spot with Crossover financially, from flipping skins for a few $100 to buying a McLaren within the first few months of the launch, he was filthy rich. But the billion-dollar question is, how can he make this stay profitable, avoiding the fate of the other 2 earlier sites? Yes, getting up was easy since he already had a community, but staying up and being profitable is a much, much bigger challenge. But the question didn't even need to be answered, because only a few months after the release, the 2018 drama peak occurred, and CSGO Magic received a cease and desist letter from Valve. He had to take his website offline. Even with this happening, he still had his $500,000 Steam inventory. Valve banned all inventories that were connected to such a site. Oh, right. So not only his main source of income, but also his inventory was gone. Everything was at 0. Instead of making a comeback like OniPixel did, McSkillet retired. And we all know how that ended up in a catastrophe. But doesn't that make you realize, despite everyone somehow doing their own thing in the CS community, in the end everything was and is connected? From the sad end of McSkillet to the glorious rise of OniPixel that is lasting to this day, we've been through a lot, and there is hardly another game with such a legacy. And I believe CS will have many more years of bringing joy to other players. And as we can see, in the end, honest work always wins. But considering how massive Counter-Strike is, there's a lot of people I left out. So if we somehow get 5k likes, I promise to make a part 2 with even crazier players. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and comment who I should not forget in the next video.